Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Randall Rothenberg.
Thank you. We're in the home stretch. I want to thank Vibrant again for that lovely break. At the outset of the day, I spoke about the IAB Building Brands Online initiative and our Rising Stars program to seed the marketplace with new, standard, brand hospitable, multifunctional ad units. It's a very big initiative that will shift when we adopt the final units into the IAB Universal ad package. We'll shift billions of dollars of interactive spend, of marketer spend, into the digital space. I would like now to bring to the stage Peter Minnium, Consulting Director for the IAB, who leads the program for us and has done a remarkable job at creating the competition that generated the entrance into the program, the judging, the final units, and is now going out into the marketplace on the adoption campaign. And he'll give you a deeper look into what these units are, what they do, who's adopting them, and how you can bring them into your businesses. So please join me in welcoming Peter Minnium.
Thanks, Randall. Thank you very much. We heard from Randall about these ad units a bit this morning, and I'm going to turn the table now entirely and talk about the Rising Stars ad units from the perspective of the buy side, the folks who issue the IOs and the agency executives who then create within the units. We have a real direct perspective into what agencies think about these units because they were evaluated, judged, and ultimately chosen by an agency working group that was centered around agency creative executives and media directors. So over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you short demos of the 6 Rising Stars ad formats and tell you, I will channel the agency executives who are doing the buying and tell you what the agencies think about these. Can you play the film strip, please? So the first rising star is now the IAB film strip, and the creative and media executives love this execution right from the start. And they did so really for 3 reasons. First, as a 300 by 3,000 unit, always visible through a single 300 by 600 window, they were in love with the fact that they could have a content-rich, interactive experience on the page. The second thing they loved about this unit is the elegant interface, this swipe interface or a mouse click interface, which for sure is mirroring what we're seeing in tablets and mobile. Interesting insight, the agency creative folks definitely see the next level of innovation in advertising coming from the tablet. And so they really appreciated the way that users can experience the ad. The third thing, though, and from my perspective, the most important reason that the agency executives chose this as a rising star is that it captured their imagination. I have a long history in creative advertising agencies, and when this unit was shown, I saw in the creative director's eyes what I used to see years ago in the agency business. They were enthralled with the possibilities of what they can do for their clients in the space. So let's move straight on through to the second, the IAB pushdown. Would you play that, please? The IAB pushdown, 970 by 90, that expands with interactions to 970 by 415. Agency executives appreciated this for many reasons. The first is that we've seen the pushdown out in the market, has good acceptance and quite good results. This unit is slightly taller at 90 than a unit that's out there by the OPA, and the agency folks told us that they appreciate the slightly larger size to get a brand engagement prior to expansion. More importantly than that, though, the agency executives appreciated what really here is an elegant interface which allows for a seamless user engagement. And in particular, the visual toolbar is something that they loved. In addition, this particular version of the pushdown was chosen, and we had quite a few submitted because it really is seen to deliver state-of-the-art plug-and-play functionality, and you saw some of it here with delivery of high-definition video and seamless integration into the social sphere. Let's take a look at the billboard. The IAB billboard is 970 by 250. Yes, the agency executives liked it because it's large. In essence, that's 3.5 times the size of a standard 728. In addition to the size, they like the fact that this is pure white space with fantastic opportunity for functionality within it. Most importantly, though, this was chosen as a rising star because it has a close button. And the agency executives characterize this ad unit as a love me or leave me concept. It starts out 970 by 250, and you can't miss it. But if the targeting's wrong or the ad creative just isn't good enough, X us out. And the agency executives are quite concerned about the value exchange with the viewer. And they found that this, they feel that this provided a decent value exchange. So for the first time, an IAB standard ad unit is slated to have a close button. Really interesting, and I think big news. Can we play the next two, Sidekick and Slider, back to back, please? Play those two together because the agency executives like them and chose them as rising stars for very similar reasons. The Sidekick launches from a 300 by 250 or 300 by 600, moves the content left, and the white space is essentially 2/3 of the screen, while the Slider launches from a 970 by 90, essentially browser bar, nailed to the bottom of the browser, and with interaction moves the content 100% left, leaving the entire screen. So, of course, the creative executives love the white canvas that's available to them. And the truth is, this is a sort of canvas that they're more used to dealing with in television and even in print. Of course, the functionality of what they can do within those white canvases was of equal importance to them. But here also, there's one aspect of each of these units that push them over the edge to become a rising star. And that is, both of these leave the viewer entirely in control. In the Sidekick, the content is seen in 1/3 of the page, and the viewer can click to get right back to it. The slider, similarly, the browser bar stays when the ad is opened, and the call to action changes from slide or click here to see the advertising to slide or click here to return to branded name editorial. So let's show the final unit, the IAB portrait, please. Okay, at 300 by 1050, it's big. That's a cheap trick to get creative executives to vote for something. But more importantly than that, though, it's big and it's in the page, and so it allows for lots of content and lots of interaction right in with the editorial. This is a highly templatized unit, which the creative executives also appreciated because it comes with fantastic, again, plug-and-play functionality. So for many, many advertisers, they don't want to reinvent the wheel every time. And here, they can drag and drop functions into it. The most important reason, though, that this was chosen as a rising star was because it's intended to be run as the only ad on the page. And the agency executives said very clearly to us that they're ready to reward publishers who will do dramatic things like this to declutter their page. So there you have it, the fastest 10 minutes of my life, the 6 new IAB rising stars. For certain, from the judging process and the hundreds of conversations that I've had with agency executives since these were announced, I can say unequivocally that if they were here, they would say to you, if you build them, we will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. I just want to remind you that the reason we did this was there had been a call for more brand hospitable formats that have been rising up in the industry for a while. And when our research showed how far we'd fallen into this trap of being only a below-the-line medium, we determined that this was one very, very important step to lift the industry out. There's been a vigorous and really interesting debate in the industry for years about the value of formats generally. I had a wonderful debate with Rafat Ali, with both Rafat Ali, but with Om Malik at GigaOM about this. And one of the things I said to him is that, you know, in the ideal world, every communication would be completely customized to the individual user. But we don't live in an ideal world. We live in a practical world where every company has to find some methods to scale, to create something, to create it once, and then to get repeated value out of it. That was the beauty of the magazine ad, of the 30-second television spot. For large advertisers in particular, the opportunity to create something, and this is what we heard from our agency advisory board, to create something once that employs the full canvas and the full functionality of digital environments that can then be scaled into 20 or 30 million homes at one shot is very tantalizing. Maybe not so important for the smallest advertisers, but for the top 50, for the top 100 marketers, and the top 20 and the top 30 agencies that work for them, it's vital for their marketing and consumer economics to work out. So that is the point of the IAB Rising Stars, to create something that is vibrant, that fully utilizes the web, that is beautiful, as Ross Levinson talks about the need for beautiful ads, that's beautiful and that fundamentally is scalable. So for any of you who want to learn more about this, Peter is very much available at peter@iab.net. So please do get in touch on this, because there will be 1 to 6 of these units that will be added to the IAB Universal Ad Package, and it will make a difference. It'd be good to get ahead of that curve.